Sam? Are you really going to be staying with your father after all of this is over with?
What? What do you want now out of all times? You're annoying me. If I were to go with you, the housewife, then I'd be left to a life of misery and no money. I can tell you, you don't know how to support yourself on your own, so there is no way you'll be able to care for me too. I want to make it all the way to college and be able to get a master's at some point. And before then, when I start going to high school, I want to be able to wear the nicest clothing and go out to really fancy cafes with all of my popular friends. I am also wanting to get myself one of the coolest men in the school to become my boyfriend, and with that, a lot of money too. So after thinking about all the things I want, I decided that I'd be going with Dad and his really cute and young girlfriend. She happens to run her own bar even, so she has to have a lot of money as well. And she told me that if I allow her to marry Dad, she's going to give me an allowance of $500 a month. That's a way better deal than whatever a useless woman like you could do for me.
So those are your reasons for wanting to go with your father after this divorce?
Well, of course. Also, I had been the one talking with Dad about how I wanted him to wait on getting this divorce until I had turned 15.
What?
Being 14 years or younger, there was a very high chance that you could get custody of me in the divorce, and neither Dad or I wanted that to happen. So I asked Dad to wait until I turned 15, so I could choose who I wanted to go with.
And while you guys had been waiting, your father was cheating on me with that other girl?
That's right, and I love thinking about how she'll become my cool new mom. So please stop asking me if I'm sure I want to be with her more than you. By the way, hurry up and leave us already. Starting tonight, my new mom is going to be coming to this house and will start to live here with Dad and I. Her name is Ellie, by the way. And we both don't want her to run into Dad's ex-wife on her first day here. I'd feel bad for her if that happened.
I'm leaving, Sam.
Then, make it quick. Dad already took full custody of me because that's what I wanted. So you're not even my mom anymore. Which means you can't talk to me anymore like one.
I wasn't trying to. Sam, I was just trying to help you out here. After realizing that this whole time, your grandma had been tricking you into thinking that I'm a bad person.
I listened to her because she would buy me anything I wanted if I listened. And she's a lot nicer than you.
And that's the reason why I wanted to check with you one last time before I go. I had this feeling deep down that maybe you didn't want what your grandma was telling you, and that perhaps you still wanted to be my daughter. But after this conversation, it is clear to me that you don't want me anymore. That's too bad. At least now I know that I have no longer have to worry about you, since you don't want that from me. Thank you very much. Now I feel a little bit better about all of this.
Huh?
Goodbye forever, my ex-daughter.
Congratulations on being married to my dad for a year. Today you're going out with him for you guys' anniversary, right? And have a wonderful night.
Thank you so much, Curtis. I really wish you could have come along with us tonight. If it wasn't for you agreeing that your dad is getting married to me, then something like tonight would never be happening between him and I.
I really like that you want to invite me out with you both, but this is your guys' anniversary, and I don't want to be there as a third wheel.
You think you'd become a third wheel? Then, how about in a couple of days, the three of us could go out and have a casual dinner?
That would be awesome. Seriously, Mom, thank you so much for becoming my mother.
Why are you being so open with me about this?
I'm sure you want to know why a 24-year-old man like me is being so squishy right now. But my real mother passed away back when I was only 1 year old. And ever since then, my dad has been taking care of me on his own, while never even bothering to find someone else. He's been without a woman in his life for over 20 years now, And yet he finally ran into someone who opened his eyes again. And that was you. At the cafeteria in you guys' office building, right? And did you know, he came to me after the first time he laid his eyes on you, asking me for advice with women? He told me he had no clue what to do about you, and how to ask you out.
I never knew that. Something like that could really happen?
Well, considering my dad would rarely ever go to the cafeteria since he's a CEO, he sort of asked me to go and talk with you some in his place, since I'm in there almost every day. He even started asking me to come up with a plan for him to use in order to get you to go on a date.
Does that mean the idea of reserving a table closest to where I was working for the CEO to have lunch was...
That's right. That was all my idea. I knew that by having my dad sit down close to where you had to work in the cafeteria, you would be forced to talk with him and him with you.
Curtis, wow.
We made sure to do all of this with the help of the secretary and some of my dad's closest friends there. One of them being the HR director, and we asked if it would be okay to do something like that in the hopes of getting my dad and you to talk. And he told us that he'd let it happen. Normally, it would be inappropriate for the CEO to be trying for a relationship inside the workplace, but everyone knew how lonely my dad had been and that he really needed someone. So in the end, we had everyone helping my dad out.
I found it a bit crazy that within 3 months of talking to the CEO, I was already going out on dates with him and stuff after work. Wow. You all did so much for the both of us.
Please keep the fact that I was behind all of this a secret, please.
What? I wonder if I can keep this a secret or not.
What? I'm not sure how I feel about you right now. Please don't say anything to anyone about all that, please. My dad would get very upset if he heard that I was talking again.
That's a good point. Well, it really is all because of you that your dad and I are so happy. So I suppose I will keep my mouth shut about everything you've told me today.
Please, Mom, please!
If I don't start leaving the house soon, I will miss my appointment.
What? Oh, it's already that time of day. Have a good time, Mom.
Thank you, and I'll talk to you later.
Mama, are you doing all right?
What?
This is Sam. Your daughter, Sam. Just the other day I saw you going into and sitting down at that super fancy French restaurant with another man. I was wondering what the heck was going on there, and so I started to ask around a little bit. And that's when I learned that you got married to the CEO of a tech firm. The fact that you were able to land a money bag like that at the age of 45 is amazing, Mama. I'll come back and be your cute little daughter again for you, so please give me $20,000. So, when can you and I meet?
I was wondering what you wanted to talk to me about. You really think that I just have some large amount of money like $20,000 sitting around?
Huh?
And even if I did have that kind of money on me right now, I wouldn't be giving it to some stranger for absolutely no reason. You have to have a very good reason for asking something like that, but I don't think you do.
What? I have a reason, though. A great reason, as a matter of fact. It's the best reason you're going to hear.
I doubt that.
I just told you that your daughter, who you haven't seen, is willing to meet you again and become your cute little girl once more, right? And for that reason, I would like you to give me $20,000. Kind of like a payment for my services to you. I'm sure as my mom, you'd be more than happy to listen to what I'm asking and give me that money, right?
5 years ago.
Huh?
You told me that you chose to have your father's girlfriend, Allie, as your new mother, right? So ever since that divorce, I have never been your mother. And there is nothing that would make me become your mother again now.
Ah, you're talking about that. Well, all of that never happened. Never. I take back everything I said to you then.
And why is that?
Because Dad and Allie ended up getting divorced. That bar I told you Allie had been running, well, she wasn't that great of a business owner, and so after only a few years it went bankrupt and she lost the bar. And that meant the $500 a month that she promised me before was no longer coming. At that point, I realized I really couldn't use her anymore. Grandma also ended up passing away last year, so the only person ever giving me money is Dad. It's not even that much each month, so I'm tired of relying on him too. That's when I found out that you found yourself a really good ATM and now living large. Right? That's why if you give me $20,000 right now, I will come out and see you and start being your cute little daughter again. And from then on, I'll let you see me whenever you want. Heck, I'll even come out and move in with you if you'd like.
Hold on, I have to go.
Hey, don't start getting too cocky now, you little brat.
What? Mama?
I'll tell you this right now. I took her phone for a little bit, so that means you're not talking to your mom at the moment.
Then who are you?
I'm your mama's stepson, after she married my dad a year ago.
Huh? Oh, is that so? I guess it's not that strange for someone the age of that CEO to have a kid or two by now, so, how old are you?
I'm 24 years old.
And I am 20 years old. Which makes you my older brother then. Which is just crazy to me because I've never had any siblings before. Nice to meet you, big brother.
I told you to stop acting like such a cocky brat.
Huh? You should be treating me like a little princess right now since I'm your little sister. But you're saying that to me?
I was already told that you're not my mom's daughter. So don't even think for a second more that you were related to me in any way.
But you can't start calling a young woman a brat like that. And it's not like you and I have ever met one another yet.
Looks to me like you have no idea who I am then.
I've never met you in my life, so of course I have no idea who you are, idiot.
I'm Curtis.
What?
My name is Curtis.
Oh, wait. No freaking way. There's no way you're the Curtis who used to be working as a store manager at Allie's bar, right?
Sorry to say, but that's me. And you picked on me so much at that job that I could probably file a claim against you for verbally harassing me there. Calling me a lowlife for only being raised by a single father, and saying I had no chance in life because my mom died when I was only 1. I'm that Curtis.
Wait, what the heck is going on here? You've been the son of a CEO this whole time? And right now you're the son of the CEO that my mom married?
I'm just as shocked as you are right now. I never thought that someone as kind-hearted and open-minded as Megan would have such an audacious and annoying daughter as you. Well, from what she was telling me, her twisted mother-in-law at the time had been feeding you lies about your mom and spoiling you at the same time. So I guess I can see how you turned out like such a selfish brat.
Hey! I don't care who you are to me. You're saying too much.
Well, if you don't want to hear anything else from me, then scram. Leave my mom alone and go find someone else to try leeching off of.
What? But what about $20,000 that she's going to be giving me?
And from what she said, she doesn't want to meet you ever again, so you're not getting that money.
Huh?
In other words, that $20,000 you were asking her for in exchange for meeting up with her again isn't going to do you any good.
But I need that money.
Why do you need something like $20,000 so badly?
Because I freaking needed it. Give me back to my mom right now and let me talk to her about this.
You really think that she's going to be willing to give a whiny little brat like you that kind of money?
Of course she will be. No matter what, I am still her cute little daughter after all.
You really have come all the way back to the same person you asked your dad to cheat on, and then leave so that you can get $500 per month from your dad's girlfriend to help you now? I know what you need that $20,000 for, Sam. You need it in order to help your dad pay off that settlement he's been asking for by Allie, after she found out your dad was cheating on her with another woman at that bar.
What?
I heard all about this from one of my previous coworkers who had been working there with me before.
Don't tell me you told my mom about that.
Sorry, but she knows. I started to learn about how you had been going around asking about my mom and who her husband is. Knowing that you were nothing but bad news for all of us here, I spoke with my dad about what I had learned about your dad at that bar. And he gave me the green light to tell my mom about everything that's been going on.
What the hell are you doing?
I would like to ask you that goddamn same thing. Megan has finally found herself smiling again after she was able to marry my dad and become part of my family. If you continue to pester my mom and get in the way of her relationship to my dad, I will not go easy on you. Understood?
What the hell?
There was still something I was left questioning after that day, and that was me wondering why Sam came to me out of all people asking to give her $20,000 to help her pay her dad's settlement. And well, as it turns out that her dad ended up getting that other woman pregnant while he was cheating on Allie. And all of his family cut ties to him for that. And that means there is nobody left for Sam to rely on now, either for help. Both her and her dad are working tirelessly every single day in order to get that money so that the settlement can be paid off. And my goodness, that must suck. I do feel a little bad that she has to go through all of that instead of going to college, but I'm not going to help her any. Luckily, both my husband and my stepson have agreed with me in saying I was right to not give her any money, and that she needs to learn to take responsibility for her actions, and one way or another. I have been asked plenty of times since then why I didn't help her out when she is my blood-related daughter, and to this day I tell them that she is not my family, and that has left me wondering, what is the true meaning of family? Do you always have to call somebody related to you by blood family, or can you cut them out of your life and truly view them as a stranger? I'm not going to think too deeply into all of that, as I'm not sure there is a single good answer to that, and instead, I'm going back to my current loving family. The family that treats me with the same respect that I treat them with. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and also subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Helen, I'm coming over to your place right now.
What? Why are you questioning that?
Tomorrow is going to be the 4th of July, right?
So, we are coming over today and we will be staying at your place for the next couple of nights. This means that both your daughter-in-law and your son are on their way to your house right now, and you need to be ready for us. London? We should be arriving there just before dinner time, so make sure to have something fancy made for the both of us to eat. I can try my best to get something ready for you guys.
We are already out of the house now and on our way, so you can't tell us no to that now.
What? Lucas, you should be finishing up with your work for today now, right? Do you mind swinging by the supermarket on your way home from there to pick some more things for me?
Hi, honey. I think I can do that. What all do you want me to pick up for you?
Can you get me another dozen eggs and also a large cabbage? Also, you'll be passing by that cake shop that I really like. Could you stop in there and find a small cake that can feed 4 for dessert?
A cake? And for 4 people to eat? Who else is going to be at the house tonight?
Axel and London are coming. I got a couple of texts from London a little bit ago, saying that they were both coming back to our house.
This again? What I never get about these kinds of situations is it's always London who ends up texting us about what she wants to do, and never Axel himself.
Well, perhaps Axel likes her to be in charge of all those things, and if that's the case, then I have nothing else to say. Anyway, this plan came out of nowhere from London, so we'll have to have dinner for 4 now. I'm currently working on that now, so I'd like you to stop and grab those things for me, so that we'll have enough for everyone tonight.
Sounds good. I'll try to make it quick.
Sorry for bringing this up to you so late, but thank you for understanding and doing that for me. Helen, it shouldn't be too much longer before we pull into your driveway. Is the driveway a good place for us to park the car? What? So you both are almost here then? And you guys decided to take the car this time? What about taking the bus like all those times before? We decided we wanted to drive ourselves this time. Do you have a problem with that? I'm sorry, but we only have one parking space at our townhouse, so you're going to have to find somewhere else to park your car. There is a parking garage just down the road that you can use, and it should only be around $15 a day. Huh? But that would cost like $60 by the end of this trip. How about you take your car out of that parking spot and park it over at the parking garage so that we can park our car in your spot? Why should we be having to do something like that for you? You both should have the money to park in that car garage, right? Huh? Listen, London, you already started off the wrong note by only telling me that you were heading over to stay here with my husband and I last minute. So I have been having to get things like food ready for you both as well as a room. So please do something about parking yourselves so that I may continue to focus making you guys your dinner for tonight. I have 2 pots on the stove right now boiling, so I cannot go out to move the car anyway. I will talk to you both when you arrive here. What? You jerk! Excuse me, London. What you've done was just a step too far over the line. What do you think you're doing throwing all that food I just made for you guys into the garbage like that? Well, listen here, Helen. Whoever said for you to make dinner yourself like that? Your older son and his wife are coming home to be with you guys, and you chose to make us trash for dinner? You think my cooking is trash? Honestly, you don't seem to think about anyone else beside yourself. At a time like this, you should be bringing us something fancy like sushi. I wanted sushi, and not just the stuff from the local gas station, but the good stuff from a sushi restaurant in town. Or perhaps it's this. Since your husband is still working in a factory as a base-level employee, you guys don't have enough money for good sushi, right? You both have to live the most basic lives at this age, so you can't even imagine what fancy food tastes like. My husband is making enough money every year where we do not have to sleep under a bridge or starve. And we happen to enjoy living a simple life, making food at home, and enjoying things like movies and walks together. So what, you're trying to tell me is that you're both poor, right? But come on now, you have to start doing better than that, because guess what? Today is the day your very important older son and his super cute wife are staying with you. So get us some damn sushi, you low-life trash. All you have to do is spend the money that you'd normally spend on yourselves each day for food, about 2 to 3 days worth of money, and spend that sushi for us tonight. That should work for your husband and you, right? And actually, I'm already on my way to the sushi restaurant down the other side of the street, and I'll be getting dinner from there. That $200 you had in the drawer is going to be used for dinner, so I made sure to take that with me. What? Hey, wait! That was all we had left for this month's groceries, and I will be using it very carefully in tonight's dinner. London, you get back here right now!
Hey, honey, are you still awake?
What? Oh, hi, Lucas. Yes, I'm still awake. You do realize I'm in the same house as you right now, so you don't have to text me if you want to talk.
Just now, Axel came over to my office to chat with me.
Did something happen to him?
He came to hand me back that $200 that London took from us, and thought that he could hand it to me while she's not awake. Also, he has something he wanted to talk to us about. Originally, the plan was that he'd come back to our house in secret, without having London come along with him. But she ended up finding out about his plan, And so he had to make up a lie saying that the both of them would come to stay here for the 4th. And well, right now, Helen is sleeping in the next room over to my office, and so I don't want her to hear Axel and I talking, or me coming to talk to you.
Ah, so that's why we're texting instead. Well, how about I get out of the bed and come to your office?
You can do that, but be really quiet so that you don't wake her up, and please shut the door quietly when you come here. I'll make sure to turn on my noise machine to try and mute out our voices, and then we can talk about what to do with London.
Understood.
Hey, Helen, get that damn bath ready for me.
It's not even 10 in the morning yet and you're already yelling?
The bath? I always get the bath every morning, and today will be no different.
I never knew about that.
Jesus! I came back pretty late last night and didn't get into the shower before I crashed, so you had to know that I'd be needing a bath this morning, right? Have you never had guests over to your house before? You need to be more considerate of me and make sure the bath is ready by the time I'm waking up. Ah, or could it be
that you and your husband don't want to have the water and heating bill go up, and so that's why you guys never use the bath?
That's exactly what I expected from two poor people.
We are not as poor as you seem you want to think, London.
But look, your husband is working in a factory.
That makes the both of you lowlives. London, the only reason you married my boy is for his money, right?
Huh? What's this all about?
My son is working for a very large company at the moment, making a lot more than people his age. And to you, he is like the perfect ATM, right? But here's the problem. That wasn't quite the truth, and Axel actually ended up being a contractor to that company. So he isn't really making the amount of money you thought he was. And then you came to learn that his father is also not making as much as you'd like, since he's just working as a factory worker. Hence why you are now calling my husband and I lowlives and saying we don't have any money to cater to you with either. You are upset right now, and you are a bit bummed out because your plan of marrying my son for his money didn't work out. And so, find that to be good reason to act like a jackass now.
That's right. I was freaking lied to. I didn't know that your son was just a contractor there and that your husband only works at a factory. What the hell is wrong with your family being some of the most moneyless people ever?
You had never talked with my husband much until after you married Axel, so I won't blame you for not knowing everything about him. But when it comes to Axel, you and him had been dating for a long time before you got married. So how come you didn't learn the truth about this line of work then?
What?
Well, it's too late for an answer to that, to affect anything now, so I'll leave it be. From what I'd heard, you have no idea what it means to be a contractor, do you?
Huh? How do I have no idea about them?
Of course, there are plenty of contractors who aren't making as much as they should be in their line of work. But in the case of my son, he someday plans to have a company of his own. And in order to get experience to put towards that company, he is going around doing work as a contractor for a few different companies. Also, Axel happens to be very skilled in the work he performs, so he's already making more than average contractor does, with plenty of bonuses as well.
Are you serious?
And as for my husband that you always call a lowlife, he's in charge of a factory he works at.
Uh-huh.
After graduating from trade school as an operator, he went and worked for the factory he's now at for 3 years. After those 3 years, he was asked to do more training for larger operations, and then worked as a manager of a shift there for a bit. And once some time had passed, and the previous leader of that factory left, he was promoted and took over. And he's been doing that for 3 years now.
What? No way.
Do you have something you'd like to say about this?
Hi, Lucas. Are you out of the house today?
Hello, London. What do you want with me right now?
I just wanted to apologize to you for not really ever talking to you at all before and after marrying your son. So, do you have time today to meet with me and chat? Well, if you have the time around noon, let's go out to eat and we can take your time talking to one another.
Around noon, I don't have any plans out of the house and was thinking of having lunch at home with the family.
What?
Today is the 4th of July, and because of that, I was able to get the day off work. And that means I'm going to be home all day today.
Ah,
That also means my son and wife are with me. Do you understand?
you're kidding, right?
No matter what you try and do to get me to go out with you, this is the last day you'll ever be hearing from me. And I think the same goes for the rest of my family.
The last day? Wait, does this mean what I think it means? You're going to be divorcing your wife?
Huh?
Oh no. That means things from now on are going to get a little more difficult for you, right? Well, if you still need me around, I'll be willing to live with you wherever you go.
Shut the hell up and get the hell out of my house now.
What? What the hell is going on? Your husband is a total asshole. He came out of his office and started to grab all my things and then tossed them out into the yard, yelling at me to get out of his house. Why the hell am I getting kicked out when it should be you getting kicked out of here in the divorce? Nobody ever said that I was getting divorced, though. The only person I'm aware of who will be going through that is you. What? You really seem to have done a great job lying to my older son, right? What are you talking about right now? There was a man you had been going out with before you married Axel, correct? That's a little... Well, Axel already had someone go and take a look at all that, and he has some great evidence now. Huh? You had planned on using my son as an ATM after marrying him, so that you could go out with that other man on more high-end dates. But when you started to try and get to who you thought was a weak man's money, he turned out to have a tight grip on his wallet. The only money you were able to manage from him was just enough to buy food for you guys while he was working, and that was it. So, you confronted him, and that's when he told you that he was a contractor, where you turned on him and started to complain about why he was giving you such a small amount of money, and that was all due with him being poor. But Helen... This is all stuff that Axel had brought up to his father and I the other night, so some of it might have been a little off. Could you please let me know if I missed something there? But Helen... But what? I never knew that there could be contractors making more money than proper employees make. And you only have your lack of knowledge and awareness to blame for that. Now that you understand that we all know the truth, I'll tell you why Axel was originally coming home. He wanted to be here, to start working on all the divorce papers with us. Divorce? He was going to go have some talks with partners of his about starting up his own company soon, but he didn't want to finish with those talks until after the divorce. So he chose to hold off on those plans and come here to finish everything up with you. There's nothing that can be done about it now. The divorce is set in stone. He can't do that to me. I'll break up with my boyfriend, all right? Breaking up with him now wouldn't help you any, and would probably only make things worse. But I've only just found out that Axel has been making good money this whole time. I can't allow him to get away from me now. No way! You're not even going to hide your true intentions now, are you? Well, at least I won't be the only one getting divorced then. You're going to lose your husband soon as well, right? That's why I don't care about telling you how I really feel about why I'm married to Axel. Dan, my husband and I aren't getting a divorce. Huh? But just a second ago your husband was talking about a divorce. And that's just another one of your delusions that you've been having. Because I was right next to him, looking at his phone while he texted you, and he typed out that Axel would be divorcing you. What? Now don't worry, because I'm showing everything you've told me to Axel right now. Wait! Hurry up and sign the papers, and then get the hell off our property and never come back. I don't want to leave! Now, make sure to talk with Axel about what else he has in store for you. I don't want you to, jerk! I don't care what you want, you big baby. What? I'm going now. Bye, forever London. Right after I stopped talking with London, Axel told me that he paid some of his friends to stop by his house and take all of his things out and start moving them to our place. This meant that he would start to live with us right away and would only be going back to that house later when he needed to sell it. My husband and I later sat down for some drinks while my son was out of the house and thought about what made our son fall in love with that girl while laughing. A few days later, we heard from Axel that he had gotten in touch with a lawyer and would be getting a settlement from both London and her boyfriend. He was also able to get all the money she took from him and used on dates back, and then the divorce was finished and he had no longer had to deal with her. After the divorce was complete, days went by where we were all able to get back to our normal lives and not have to worry about what happened to London after. However, 1 year after the divorce, we found out that both London and her boyfriend got arrested. When I went online to look up what happened with those two, it had to do with them having a fraud marriage or something. And well, they lied about getting married by forging some documents, and when the bank later found this out, they sent the police after them. I guess her boyfriend and her were in some real need of money and went to those lengths to try and get some loans. At least the three of us in my family all were able to cut ties to her before something like that happened, and we all gave a big sigh of relief at the same time thinking about that. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of this story. See you at the next story. Goodbye!